Welcome to Metro Minutes.
We'll show you what happened when protesters marched in the streets of Chicago in support of protesters in Baltimore. And we'll tell you if director Spike Lee is still naming his film Chi-Raq.
Plus, we'll let you know how fans reacted to the 2015 NFL Draft in Chicago. And we'll show you a viral video of a mother practicing good parenting. Hello, I'm Samantha Anderson.
And I'm Jennifer Hernandez. You're watching Metro Minutes.
As protests continue in Baltimore over the death of a black man in police custody, Chicagoans are also showing their support. Reporter Katie Berg has been following this story all week. Katie?
One of the youngest protesters, a 6-year-old boy. He joined hundreds of Chicagoans on a march to call attention to police brutality.
Back up, we want freedom, freedom.
They filled the streets of Chicago on April 28th. Hundreds of protesters who came to support Baltimore.
It's got to stop. The police can't murder black youth anymore. They can't get away with it.
Angry demonstrators took to the streets of Baltimore for several days after Freddie Gray's unexplained death. The 25-year-old black man died in police custody after a mysterious spinal cord injury. He died April 19th.
The questions that many of you have are the same questions that we're asking. How was Mr. Gray injured?
Protesters who took part in the Chicago March say they're fed up with Gray and overall police brutality. Many carried signs expressing their thoughts about police.
I'm scared for my life, and it's a reflection of the obvious police brutality that's been going on in this nation.
Unlike the protests in Baltimore, where there was looting, rocks thrown at police, and cars lit on fire, here in Chicago, the protests remained relatively peaceful.
We love each other. We have to remember that. We act out of love for each other. We will see the revolution.
Many say they hope the protests will bring about change.
This is a gathering of people who also know something's wrong and who to one degree or another are willing to do something about it.
The demonstrations appear to be far from over, and people are still asking what happened to Freddie Gray. Back to you.
Katie, did solidarity marches happen in any other cities?
Definitely. At least half a dozen protests have taken place across the country, including Washington, New York, and Ferguson and Philadelphia, as well as many more are popping up.
Did any of them get destructive, like in Baltimore?
In Ferguson, police say protesters threw rocks at them. Some debris was lit on fire, as well as 4 police cars were damaged, but nothing is compared to the destructiveness in Baltimore.
Thank you, Katie. Amidst all the violence in Baltimore, a new hero emerges as a woman shows how to practice good parenting. Here with the story is Yesenia Gallegos.
This week's replay button shows an angry and embarrassed mother reacting towards her teenage son after discovering that he was one of the troublemakers in Baltimore. This video has gone viral and many have questioned where were the other parents when their children were rioting. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Yesenia. 2 people have been rescued from the rubble of buildings in Nepal. 1 week after an earthquake that killed more than 6,000 people. The BBC is reporting that a 15-year-old boy says he survived by drinking water from wet clothes and eating clarified butter. A woman was pulled from a collapsed building where she had been trapped alongside 3 bodies. Meanwhile, bad weather is hampering the delivery of relief to remote villages. The Nepalese government is being criticized for its response to the disaster.
Grant Park was recently transformed into Draft Town for the 2015 top NFL picks. From autograph signing to on-field clinics, it was a football fan's dream come true. Here's Sarah Tesfaye with the story.
After years of waiting, football fans finally got to enjoy the NFL draft in their own city.
Chicago Bears and their 7th pick, so we want to see who they pick and
just the excitement because it's the first time ever in Chicago.
Tents, banners, and backdrops decorated the city for blocks, turning it into NFL Draft Town. After 51 years of being held in New York, the NFL Draft has come to Chicago, and it's the biggest event they've put on to date.
Big time Colts fan. Go Colts!
Football fans filled in Grant Park, many wearing jerseys and even costumes to represent their favorite teams.
Well, the one player we were looking to hopefully meet isn't going to be here, which is Marcus Mariota. He's a Hawaii boy. So, but yeah, we're excited.
Fans traveled from around the country to attend, like diehard fan Mark Horace, who has attended the draft 15 years in a row.
You get to hang out with a lot of football fans who just want to talk about football and have a good time. And I've made so many friends over the years.
Daryl Ward is a big Eagles fan. He came to the draft to see who his favorite team would pick.
And I think you should play smart, draft a receiver, draft a safety, go from there, build through the draft, don't mortgage our future for a guy that's unproven.
Reporting for Metro Minutes, this is Sarah Tesfaye.
After a long delay, Loretta Lynch was recently sworn in as U.S. Attorney General. Lynch is the first African-American woman to serve as the nation's top law enforcement official. Lynch says her appointment shows we can do anything. She pledges to use justice in confronting terrorism. Vice President Joe Biden administered the oath, saying Lynch is incredibly qualified for the position. Coming up after the break, see what a new study says about stressed out women.
And we'll tell you what Chicagoans think about a new movie based on the city's violence. Back in a moment.
911, where's the emergency?
I'd like a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Ma'am, is there someone in the room with you?
Yes.
Okay, I've sent an officer. Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
You're watching Metro Minutes with Samantha Anderson, Katie Berg, Yesenia Gallegos, Jennifer Hernandez, Chris Shuttlesworth, and Sarah Tesfaye. You are watching Metro Minutes.
NBC News is reporting that President Barack Obama's library will be built in Chicago. Both the University of Chicago and the University of Illinois at Chicago placed bids. The final site has not been announced.
Columbia College celebrates We Day, honoring middle and high school students. We'll show you where you can find authentic tacos in Pilsen. Details in this week's Chronicle headlines. Here's Katie Berg.
Thank you, ladies. I'm here in the Chronicle newsroom with multimedia advisor Charles Jefferson discussing the upcoming issue. So, Charles, what can we look forward to?
Yeah, so let's start off with our Metro section. We're talking about We Day, and We Day is a movement of young people leading local and global change. And so they just had the event at the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, and they had a lot of celebrities such as Selena Gomez, Martin Sheen, Kwaku Mandela, who's the son of grandson of Nelson Mandela, as well as countless others, Jennifer Hudson, Magic Johnson, all who support this initiative to celebrate young people and all the positive that they're doing throughout their communities.
That's awesome. And was there any particular student who stuck out to you guys?
Yeah, so we talked to one young man who is from Aurora, and he started a clean water initiative, and so he's been selling t-shirts, and the funds, the proceeds that he gets from those t-shirts, he's going to send those funds through charity and send those to developing countries who don't have safe drinking water, so in order to help those communities out.
Well, that's awesome. And how old is he?
He's 16.
Oh my goodness, very ambitious for a 16-year-old. That's awesome, good for him. Yeah. And the draft is upon us. You guys have people covering it. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, the NFL draft is here. We have reporters and photographers that will be out at the Auditorium Theater as well as Grant Park all weekend. What's unique about this NFL draft is that it's the first time in about 50 years that it's here in Chicago, and it's great for the city. It gives us exposure to other people, and it brings in those tourist dollars as well. We all know that the Mayor Emanuel was a big proponent of getting the draft here this year, so hopefully it turns into something positive for the city.
Right, hopefully. And was it difficult for you guys to get coverage of the event? Or?
You know, we only managed to get 2 press passes, but you know, nonetheless, we're still out there and we're doing our interviews and doing coverage so we can bring it to you guys.
You're still, that's awesome that you're able to be there.
Yep.
And I am hungry. Is there anything in the issue coming up that I can find some food?
Yeah, so in our multimedia section, we're talking about tacos. So our multimedia reporter went to Pilsen, and I know you love tacos.
I love tacos.
She went to Pilsen, and she got a tour of some authentic taco restaurants, and she also got a little history lesson about Pilsen as well, and the link between Pilsen and these restaurants.
And will we be able to find where in the issue where these restaurants are?
Yeah, so she's going to outline everything that you need to know, so the next time you make a trip to Pilsen, you can go check out one of those restaurants.
And where can I find this issue? Because I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
Yes, you can find this issue on any of our stands across campus, and you can also follow us on Twitter at CC Chronicle, like us on Facebook at the Columbia Chronicle.
Thank you so much for being here, Charles, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Katie. Chicago's very own Art Institute receives the biggest gift in its 136-year history. Philanthropists Stephen Etlis and Gail Neeson recently gave the school a $400 million donation that includes 42 pieces of artwork. The artwork will be installed early next year. Director Spike Lee's upcoming film, Chirac, is still in the early stages of production, but it's stirring up a lot of controversy. Here's reporter Chris Shuttlesworth with more on the story.
While Spike Lee isn't saying much about his new film, a lot of people are. Mayor Rahm Emanuel says he doesn't like the title because it stigmatizes communities and overall gives the Windy City a bad name.
Spike Lee is in the works to shoot his next film in Chicago. Chirac will reportedly highlight black-on-black gun violence in the city's Inglewood neighborhood. But not everyone is pleased with the film's new title, which is a popular nickname coined by local rappers.
I think we win in the battle, actually, and we need to promote that more than actually Chirac, which does absolutely nothing. Everybody has always knew Chicago was bad.
Inglewood has a reputation as one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the city. Last year, according to Tribune data, there were 21 murders there.
Most urban areas throughout the nation, they military occupied by the police, and the people that they have to police us are not of our culture. They not from our neighborhood. They come, right, they don't understand.
Lee is hoping the city will give him a $3 million tax break to support his upcoming film.
Some say the film could lead to honest discussions about poverty, crime, and race.
If it paints Chicago in a positive light, in that case, you know, I feel like, yeah, then it's okay for him to name it Chirac because he most likely has a positive message at the end of the film.
MJ Allen helped produce a dramatic TV series called Chirac. The show had 2 screenings at the Icon Theater. Allen says the controversy will be good for the city and Lee.
People are talking about it, it's a great buzz, which would be great for the movie as well, because people are going to go out just so you can find out what it's about, and they're going to support it. It's going to be a blockbuster hit.
Lee is reportedly talking to Kanye West, Common, Jeremy Piven, and Samuel L. Jackson to star in Chirac. Back to you.
So, Chris, when will Spike Lee begin filming, and is there going to be open casting?
Lee will begin filming in May, and he will end this July. Open casting starts on May 9th at St. Sabina Academy.
Do you think he'll ever change the film's name?
No, I think he'll actually keep the title. He's been filming for years, so I think he's just used to criticism.
Thanks, Chris. LA and New York's most popular workout facility has finally made its way to Chicago. SoulCycle recently opened in the city's Old Town neighborhood. A second location could be headed to the Loop in the near future. SoulCycle is an indoor cycling class that incorporates music, upper body, and core work. The class is a favorite for many celebrities, including Kelly Ripa and Bradley Cooper. A new study shows that 70% of women eat sweets when stressed out. Researchers found that the most females turn to comfort food to help lift their spirits.
I am such a stress eater. I love sugary things like cake, cupcakes, any type of candy, anything sweet.
Despite tasting good in the moment, researchers say the correlation found between stress and sugar intake ends up causing more stress. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you which popular ice cream is recalling their frozen yogurt.
And Chipotle will be delivering their popular burrito bowls right to your doorstep.
First, I didn't take him seriously. I had heard the stories, but I thought they were way overblown. But over time, he became, like, really annoying. Everywhere I went, he had to follow. And bossy, so bossy. Let's go outside now. No, I'm talking to Jack. Outside now. It's pouring. Outside now. Well, fine. He was so needy. I haven't seen you in so long. Oh, yeah, you did, like a little while ago. But I miss you so much. He started taking my money.
This is Metro Minutes.
A popular Chicago club has a new owner. The two brothers recently sold Shubas to Audio Leaf.
I think it's a positive change. You know, if they would have sold it to somebody else who doesn't do music for, a full-time thing, then it would change the bar a lot. And I think the people around the bar would have a completely different reaction to it.
Chris Schuba decided to leave the music business to pursue other opportunities. Mike Schuba will stay on as Chief Operating Officer with the new owner. Whether you've had a little too much to drink last night or you're suffering from a cold or flu, there's a cure for that. Reporter Yesenia Gallegos shows us why many people have chosen a needle in the arm for some relief. Here's Yesenia in the Metro Minutes control room.
Thank you, guys. This company has been around for 2.5 years. It's quickly gaining popularity throughout the Chicago area.
I feel almost 90% better right after I get an IV.
It's called intravenous hydration therapy, and it works like this. You get hooked up to an IV and pumped with 2 or 3 bags of fluids. These fluids range from medications, vitamins, and other supplements that can be customized depending on your condition. IVMe packages include oxygen therapy, treatments for athletic performance, wellness, jet lag, and fatigue. The process is simple. You fill out some paperwork and then meet with the doctor to go over your medical history. They customize your treatment and take you to a spa-like area where you receive the IV. It takes 45 minutes to an hour.
I try to get one like maybe bi-weekly or once a month, especially if I'm like under the weather, if I have the flu or I'm not feeling well. It makes me feel more energized and just healthier and hydrated.
I think it's an interesting idea. I'd consider it if it was reasonably priced and I was in need.
This IVMe treatment has been around for over 2 years now, and people from all different ages are using this service.
Customer Kit Masood is a 2-time cancer survivor and says her immune system has to work harder than the average person to get hydrated. She visits the clinic once a week to get the IV treatment.
I have yet to get even the common cold since I started coming in here. And I can tell like I sleep better.
There are clinics, but they focus more on the hangovers, whereas we're doing it more health and wellness, and we have a different focus.
IVMe plans to expand their business to other locations in the area, as well as nationwide. They currently have no other competitors here in Chicago.
Not only would I recommend it to friends and family, I would tell them not to go to the emergency room. Their deductible, if it's not met, it's going to be thousands of dollars, whereas here it's going to be a fraction of the cost.
So if you're looking to stay hydrated and energized, this basic treatment will cost you from $119 up to $169. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Yesenia. Good news for Chipotle fans. Your favorite food is now just a phone call away. Chipotle is now delivering in more than 60 cities, including Chicago. The Mexican food chain has a new partnership with the on-demand delivery service, Postmates.
I think it's okay while they're just starting, but they're going to realize that they're going to have to take it down to actually make it profitable and make enough people come in and get the delivery.
The service charge starts at $5 and it's capped at $8 depending on the distance. Taco Bell is kicking up the heat with a new hot sauce called Diablo. The sauce is made out of a variety of peppers, including chipotle and chili. The fast food chain says it's their hottest sauce ever and will be released on Cinco de Mayo for a limited time only.
A popular ice cream company is recalling its products after finding listeria in their frozen treats. Jenny's Ice Cream has 2 Chicago locations that are temporarily closed. Customers who have recently purchased Jeni's products are urged to throw them out or return to any store for a full refund. Ladies, there is a male version of Hooters coming, and it is called Tallywhackers. The bad news is it's only opening in Dallas, Texas. The restaurant will be staffed with half-naked men who will be serving food while also providing a healthy dose of eye candy.
It's been 30 years since Michael Jordan played in his NBA rookie shoes, and now his sneakers have been sold for more than $70,000. ESPN says an anonymous buyer purchased the shoes from SCP Auctions. The shoes were originally given to a Lakers ball boy by Jordan. The auction company says the shoes, along with other sports memorabilia, brought in $4.1 million. NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs are underway. It's a great time for Chicago sports fans because both the Blackhawks and the Bulls are in the playoffs this year. How will our Chicago teams do? I took to the streets for this week's 60-second sound off.
The Bulls have the best chance of winning it all this year in Chicago. I think the Hawks probably more likely, just out of empiricism.
Well, after Saturday's game, I think that anything is possible. But as of right now, personally, being in Chicago and the Bulls.
The Blackhawks.
The Bulls.
Man, I think the Bulls got it, you know what I'm saying?
Hawks are going to take the whole thing. I don't think the Bulls have the capacity with the coaching staff they have to actually make it all the way through the end. But I feel like the Hawks have the capability to actually make it to the end of the season.
The Bulls are going to sweep, absolutely. Blackhawks.
I think the Blackhawks, because they've done it before. And I need to see the Bulls beat the Cavs and LeBron James in the playoffs to know that it's going to happen.
I'm going to go with the Bulls.
Chicago Blackhawks.
It's a great chance for both because we stronger than ever, both sides. But I really like to give it to the Blackhawks.
Probably the Blackhawks.
I said the Bulls.
Blackhawks. Why? Because they've done it a lot more recently before.
Definitely the Bulls.
Well, 2 is better than none.
Exactly, and as we're recording this show, both teams are headed in the second round of playoffs.
Well, I wish them both best of luck.
I'm Samantha Anderson.
And I'm Jennifer Hernandez. Thanks for watching.